So Lyrans are watching you and the planet heavily. Lyrans come from the constellation Lyra, and they have a consciousness-based technology. Their ships respond to thought, emotion, and intention, and their technology is fused with biology rather than us that use mechanics. They're more about like light and frequency tech. So Lyrians operate out of sound, light, and vibration. They have frequency weapons, and they also interdimensionally travel. They're the type of species that are humanoid, and they're feline-like. So they do have a human aspect to their DNA. And I feel like Lyrans are also less machine dominant. So they have minimal AI in their systems. Unlike us that are very machine based, their systems are more symbiotic. The Lyrans have a very close eye on you because they've been watching you operate for some time. They're more so about strength, courage, and bravery. And you also have Sirians B that also have been having a close connection to you. I used to have weird feelings around water, specifically like showers, oceans. They would always give me this off vibe until I realized that there was species that were connected to the water. So I feel like some of you are heavily drawn to water. If you don't have enough water in your system, like just as far as like drinking water, that can also affect your ability to communicate with these species. Syrians B are more so about like responsibilities, lessons growing up. None of these can directly interfere with humans. All they can do is maybe give pointers and maybe assist here and there. The reason why they're keeping a close eye on you is because they feel like you are formidable. You're the type of person that could have, I guess, leverage against the system in place. Because right now, Earth is being controlled heavily by reptilians or just like by a reptilian bloodline. Um, the reptilians are more so about like a predator species. They will do anything to survive, even if that means infiltrating a planet itself and turning it into their territory. Reptilians are very tyrannical. They're very brutal. They do not care about who gets harmed in the way as long as it's about their survival. And as you can see with the reptilians, this looks like it's underground or there's some form of tunnels, as opposed to the Syrians and Lyrans that are from, I guess you could say space. I'm not even sure if I believe that exists. But they're in a different area as opposed to reptilians that are more enclosed and more so within the system itself. It looks like the reptilians they're going after something that has to do with like the alchemy or the philosopher's stone. There's some sort of magic that they want to get a hold of to essentially deter them from the destiny that they're trying to change destiny in some way, shape, or form by going after certain things, which is why I also feel like in Iraq, it is why the US government went after the tomb of Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh was considered a Nephilim. In his DNA would be the key to finding immortality or to being able to cheat death. So the people within the government system may not be entirely human. They could just be infiltrating the planet itself and finding a way to survive or finding a way to replicate their energy. And that's where Nephilims come in, because the key's in their DNA. I don't know. There's some crazy stuff going on. The devil's connected to this somehow, but also the devil doesn't have a hold on the population as far as it did before. It seems like the tides are turning, and the Lyrians are providing some form of information or knowledge to help human beings fight back, I feel. And you're one of those people that is very strong. You may be a starseed, you may be an earth angel, you might be a light worker. There's an army of humans that I feel like have been activated, and they can essentially receive information and broadcast from other species. And this is why certain people just have a stronger intuition. Certain people have all their clairs activated. Certain people have abilities that other people do not. It doesn't mean they're better. It just means they're more in tune with themselves. They know more about themselves because they've spent time within themselves. So you're one of these people. You have a lot of love to offer. You have a lot of keys, important knowledge, wisdom to offer that could give human beings a brand new start. But I feel like you go through a lot of trials and tribulations. You go through a lot of betrayal, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of pain, circumstances, things to displace you. So there's many things that you have to fight against, and not just your mind on top of that. Like there's so many factors that contribute to why some of you may feel restricted, because we have the Eight of Swords twice. If reptilians are truly a thing, they would have the technology to basically cause issues within light workers, to make light workers feel like they are not enough, to make them feel like the journey ahead or the job that needs to be done is impossible. I also feel like reptilians control the majority of the income of the planet. That's why we have greed here. Gold. So all of, oh man, I just heard Rothschilds. Whoever has the most gold surplus within the planet, whichever groups those are part of this species. It's so, oh man, it's so complex. It's like they're human but they're not. It's like somebody can be just like you but connected to the devil, or be connected to something that's even further from them. With life insurance here, it's like these people are willing to sacrifice anything, families, to get what they want. They don't want people to reach a certain age. They don't want humans staying alive long. That's why they try to poison everything that they possibly can: water, food, the air, anything possible that they can. And I feel like they also watch humanity closely at a very creepy level with perversion. I also feel like you are the type of person that surveillance, but your surveillance is much heavier than just a regular person. And I feel like it's because they know that you are something special, but you are protected, not just by a source, but by other beings who can't necessarily interfere directly, but they can give you pointers. So with Infinity, reptilians are trying to find a way to shift destiny. They're trying to basically use magic, whether it's, I don't know if it's demonology or it's dark magic, in order to get what they want. And they will stop at nothing to preserve their species. They will stop at, even if that means getting rid of like half the planet, they will do that. But with you, you're part of the people that I feel like is the resistance. Like the things that you do, the things that you study, the work that you put into humanity, it is part of the resistance. And no, they will not be able to get away with this situation for very long, but they do have their time where they will have the upper hand. And I feel like that time is coming to an end because they've been able to affect finances, resources. They've been able to keep resources within the top 1% and not towards the people, to kind of keep people like enslaved in a way. But you ran away from that. You, once you figured out what was going on in the planet, you chose to go a different pathway. You ran away from that completely, and now you've empowered yourself. And that's why these Lyrans and Sirians keep their eye on you, because they've noticed there's a group of human beings that are the resistance, that are actively putting in the work to try to buffer all of this mess that's going on, all of the greed that's going on, and you will be successful. You are putting in that hard work and dedication. You have maintained this pathway for quite some time, and it is not in vain. As you can see, the devil's already lost its fight. In the 5D, 6D dimensions, the devil's already lost. It's just taking time for that energy to trickle down into where we are in the 3D, where Earth is.